Jesus, glue huffing Christ! What is it with people and their overly dramatic intro stings? That scared the ever-loving whiskey out of me, my goodness. Well, here's hoping whatever follows is the most dramatic, terrifying content that really justifies setting such a harrowing mood, and isn't just a bunch of stupid nonsense spouted by a moron. Now, who is this, and what are we watching? What do you mean it's written right there? Who told you I can read and or comprehend words?
Hi, I'm Barak Lurie, and this is the Barak Lurie Show.
Ah, thank God you told us, otherwise I would have no idea. And naming your show after yourself, that's a bold maneuver. What do you mean I do that? No, I don't. This channel has my name on it, sure, but the actual thing is called Super Intelligent Resource for Smart Intellectual Chaps, aka the Sir Six Oh, fuck.
I want to talk to you about the theme that will encompass everything we do in this channel.
That's right, get your Brook Lorrying for all your Brook Lorry needs right here. Who the f is Brook and why is his name clearly spelt Barak? Well, we aren't going to tell you that. What are you, stupid? No. What we will tell you is how to make it look like you have been locked in a basement with just a TV and a table and are being forced to do this against your will. It's a cunning strategy because then when you say something really dumb, you could just blame your quote-unquote captors and that they made you tell everyone that you don't know shit about anything. As a prank, I guess.
The dangers of atheism.
Finally, someone's man enough to do it. Point out all those things that are so dangerous about not buying someone else's claim that a god exists. Dangers like having an opinion that isn't the same as another person's, or having to base your worldview on something that doesn't have an invisible skyman in it. Or the worst of all, being incredibly good looking. Look, I can't help it. If being an atheist makes you more attractive than everyone else, it's just a thing that happens. Don't already or stop believing in God? Absolute smoke show. It's just science.
In my book, Atheism Kills.
For God's sake. Really? We have got Matey McShownamerson in his Shownamerson, but of course the very first thing that he tries to do is sell you a goddamn book. What is it about the people with the worst ideas that they always feel the need to write them down as well? If only the dumbs wouldn't learn how to write, the world would be a much better place. And yet, despite their overwhelming stupidity, that's one thing that they apparently can do. Although I imagine there's still a lot of pictures in it, probably mostly of various famous atheists with their supposed bad qualities, whether true or not, stamped across their faces. Ah, I fucking knew it.
In my ultimate volume series of Atheism Kills.
Oh great, even more books. Christ, who even is this guy? Well, I found his website and, well, it's frankly hilarious with the likes of Dennis Prager singing his praises, saying, Lurie is right, atheism kills. It kills people, civilizations, beauty, meaning, order, happiness. If something is good, atheism will eventually kill it. Frankly, that tells me more than I need to know about the guy and his writings on atheism, aka he a dumbass.
We talk about the dangers of a world without God.
Yeah, like how we would be an insignificant speck of nothing sitting on a ball of dirt travelling around an unremarkable star, that gives you cancer of course, in the corner of a backward solar system, in the middle of a random galaxy, somewhere in the mess of everything else, in an entirely uncaring universe. And if there is a god, the exact same. But there's a god somewhere too, hiding and snickering about what a terrific hiding place he's found and how hilarious it is that no one will ever find him. So, you know, significantly fucking stupider.
Without God, you have a world of ultimate destruction.
I don't know, man. If we're talking Bible God, that guy is all about destruction. He can't go more than a short while before he's having people killed or mutilated or just plain torturing them for fun or simply ruining their lives because he thinks it's funny. And again, the normal world where he's allegedly not doing all the other bad shit, that happens at the same time. So without God, regular amount of destruction. With God, same, but a trickster fucking with as many people as he can before disappearing. Probably to some coastal region and changing his name to Hans Goddington to live out the rest of his infinity with no repercussions. Not gonna lie, that's kind of brilliant.
There is no greater force of destruction than atheism itself.
I beg your fucking pardon, I'm standing right here. And you say something like that. Unbelievable. You know, you work really hard to become the worst thing that has ever happened to humanity, and then people act like you didn't even happen. You know what the problem is? Not enough subscribers. That's what needs to happen. You lot go out there, spread me like a particularly sexy plague to your friends and enemies until nobody can get away with uttering the despicable phrase, "Sir Sick Who?"
In fact, as we argue in Atheism Kills,
I'm sure you do argue, but do you do it well? Are you able to deliver a coherent point, or do you ramble on about how atheists are all bastards? And if only they would just tell me my delusional dreams of being best friends with the most important being in the universe are perfectly reasonable. In fact, what they should do is just admit how jealous they are of me for how well adjusted I am when I can't stop writing books lying about them and all the things they believe. And before Stupid Mook thinks he starts comments below, "That's why you're doing your videos." No, I don't. And I don't have to say anything to make these people look bad. They do it themselves. I'm just here to make sure you lot don't die of infectious brain rot that you would get from watching these videos in their entirety without extremely important bad jokes. You're welcome. And frankly, it's not a big deal. I haven't had a brain since I lost it in that poker tournament, which is unsurprising considering I don't even know how to play 52 card pickup, let alone any other game.
nothing else has done any more damage than atheism.
Okay, so I'm going to ignore the repeated slights against me and leave myself off the top spot, even though, you know, and just say, what the fuck are you talking about? Nothing but an individual's lack of belief in God has caused more damage than that. Not wars, not famine, not giant fucking meteors, not all the shit that big old corpos are doing in desperate attempts to be the worst thing ever. Not even EA. No, the real problem with the world is the fact that a small percentage of the global population doesn't believe a thing that the rest do. Wow. I always wanted to be special, and being the worst by virtue of something that I cannot even help is always a fun one.
Not fascism, not communism, not any sort of dictatorial rule whatsoever.
Oh wow, so are you not doing the thing where you say these things are actually terrible because of atheism? Atheism is actually worse than them for some reason. Sure, I'm not even going to scrutinize that statement too hard and just roll with it. Mostly for the sake of not being told my fraction of a belief system that I have is suddenly the same thing as entire worldviews that may or may not have atheism as an integral or not part of them, and they are the exact same thing as not buying the God claims because of how smart people think they are. Awesome.
Atheism has got everyone beat.
Damn, we're finally the best. Hooray! That'll get them people in City Hall to take us seriously at last. We're number one. We're number one. Yeah, sure, it's for being allegedly the worst thing that's ever happened to anyone ever. And the fact that when you look at the most secular places on Earth, you know, the most godless, and thus the most likely to have a lot of atheists there, for some reason, they are some of the best places to live on the planet. And a lot of places that are entirely run by their religions are places that you couldn't get me to visit if you paid me $1 million. I mean, not because of the religious stuff, but because apparently there are people there too. It's like I can't get away from the fucking things, so I never go outside. What? You think I'm outside? Nah. Movie magic, dumbass.
Why is that?
I'm guessing, and do bear with me here, atheism has everyone beat on being the worst because of something that isn't atheism, but you decided that it was, therefore it must be because you are the arbiter of all the things in the universe. Am I close?
Because both fascism and communism and virtually every destructive force whatsoever has within it the element of godlessness.
Oh, for fuck's sake, he doubled back around to doing the atheism and socialism and the fascism. And he did it all in one fell swoop. Not to mention, apparently, all destructive forces are godless as well. Whatever the fuck that means. So, are tsunamis and volcanoes and tornadoes, not to mention random bits of space debris and any other nature shit that causes destruction on Earth, it is all godless. But I thought God was in charge of that stuff. That's starting to sound like some propaganda at this point. And frankly, if we extrapolate that thought process and boil it down, now atheists cause disasters. All of them. And frankly, we haven't managed to take control of the weather and natural forces yet. They said so at the last Atheism and Baby Eating Expo 2024. All we managed to do was get a few nuns wet. And yes, I do mean that kind of wet.
In fact, the central operating system of both communism and fascism was atheism.
What the f***? are you even talking about? That is complete and total bollocks. Look, even if we give you that both of them had atheism as part of them, when, well, the fascists you are thinking about, the Nazis, weren't fucking atheists. And yes, I know Hitler arguably wasn't a Catholic and all that jazz, but that doesn't change the fact that the vast majority of his people were, and that fascism itself, as I understand it, is perfectly fine with religion. It might even like it. And the communists just replaced religion with the state as effectively the religion, and its leaders, obviously. But even if atheism is part of both of them, to say that it's the main part is the central operating system is completely ludicrous. It's not a worldview. It's not even close to one. It's one tiny aspect of a worldview as an answer to one question: do you think God am real? That's about as central to anything as I am fucking sober. That is to say, it's not, and neither am I.
That being the fact, that's what led to the millions, no, hundreds of millions of people dying.
Of course, it wasn't a series of ideological views, most, if not all of which have basically nothing to do with atheism. It's not the fact that many of the deaths attributed to communism are because some of the largest populations on Earth were under its leadership for a really goddamn long time, thus giving the opportunity to cause shit with such large numbers. And fascism, which did the vast majority of its killing over a few short years, didn't kill people based on fear and hatred and control. No, it's because of godlessness. Because, of course, literally no one has ever died because God said so, or that people who believe in him didn't decide it would be really funny or whatever. It's almost as if specific worldviews are a much more important factor than whether or not you believe in Skyman.
In the 20th and now 21st century.
Wait, you mean since the 2000s? My God, I knew it. Atheism causes heart disease. It stands to reason. I mean, look at the causes of death year on year. It's the only thing that makes sense. And everyone knows that no one died of heart problems when God ruled the world.
Everything that we are in the Barak show has to deal with the dangers of godlessness.
We, in the show that's named after me, starring me in a tiny room with static cameras and lackluster editing at best and no clear direction. Yeah, sure, we. Although I shouldn't harp on subpar editing, it is infinitely better than no editing, so I'll give him that. Even though it's definitely him doing it, because seriously, who the f*** would want to be associated with this drivel? It's career suicide.
We'll show not only how atheism kills people,
with heart problems. We already established that. Now, all we have to do is figure out if atheism forces people into unhealthy lifestyles, or if it's more of a death note thing. I mean, most of the big old book of atheism is just blank pages. It only needs one, and it says, God don't real probably. So let's just try writing down a random name here. There we go. See? Nothing happened. Whoops.
and ruins lives.
Atheism ruins lives. Fuck off. Like, seriously. And yeah, I know this is anecdotal as fuck, but the amount of people I know, myself included, whose lives improved dramatically when they moved away from religious nonsense is pretty much 100%. Unless you think that ruined lives is people stopped agreeing with me, therefore their lives must be terrible. Said from you in your incredibly sad looking set. And that makes it even funnier, frankly.
But also how it ruins everything else that we treasure.
Atheism is just getting busy destroying the world, isn't it? And yet, I've never seen it do so. Therefore, well, finally something makes sense. I mean, atheism wears all those dark clothes. Atheism is often seen jumping from rooftop to rooftop. Atheism kills from the shadows and... oh, wait a second. I was thinking of ninjas. I always get those two confused.
Whether that's beauty, art, music, purpose, freedom, free speech, justice.
What a fucking wild list. And screw it, let's go through it and see which ones have been absolutely stomped on by religions and therefore God. Beauty. Well, considering God literally invented its opposite, that's kind of a poor start. And many religions require people to hide themselves. So if we're talking about the beauty of people, well, that's not that one on the head. Art. Yeah, art gets censored all the time by various religious institutions. So yeah. Music. The amount of times I have heard the devil's music, that's a yup. purpose. I mean, it depends on what purpose. If you want a purpose that's one you decide for yourself, well, you don't get to have that shit. God's purpose, or it's burning in hell for you, matey. Freedom, second verse, same as the first. Free speech, it's like he's fucking repeating himself at this point. And finally, justice. Yeah, sure, getting tortured and killed for your beliefs. That has never happened under any religion, ever. Wink.
You name it, godlessness destroys it.
How about this fucking video?
I look forward to talking to you and with you more about these topics as we proceed further. Thank you.
Man, he's such a terrible talkerizing guy, and damn it didn't even work. Oh well, it's almost like this guy is also completely full of shit as well.
Wait, before you go, I have something super important to tell you. It's life or death. It will change everything forever. Nope, wait, it's gone. Oh well, probably wasn't important. But while I have you, don't forget to comment, subscribe and notify. And if you want more of my smexy voice, check out Mrs. Six's channel Spoonstaff Stories, where I narrate and voice all the videos, and she does the work. And if you want to support the channel, check out the merch store for cool t-shirts, or check out Patreon, memberships and PayPal to support directly. Finally, follow me on the medias of social to get completely pointless guff and to keep up on the latest releases. Oh, I just remembered what I was going to tell you. Whatever you do, don't touch the